Hey guys, Ben here from Witterings Fitness. Today we're talking about running. We're going to start with what kind of shoes you should wear. It actually doesn't really matter what kind of shoes you wear, but something that I want to talk about is the heel in your traditional running shoe. There's lots of sand in that one. So we're going to talk about running, and we're going to talk about injury prevention as a theme and increasing the efficiency of your running. So we're looking at running as a skill, just like we look at squatting as a skill. Okay, and those are the reasons. Prevent injuries, increase our efficiency, basically. I am not a natural runner. Okay, I've avoided running for a really long time. However, I realized I had this affirmation about myself, and now I'm doing an Ironman. So I've been learning a lot about running for the past sort of 3 or 4 years. I used to get really bad back pain, had lots and lots of injuries from running, and now I think I've reached a level where I really understand it really well. So a lot of the things I learned from a guy called Nicholas Romanov, he teaches this method called pose. Okay, and he's saying, it doesn't really matter what kind of shoe you have. These are my running shoes. Sometimes I even run in sandals. I've got some running, like Jesus running sandals that I use, which are really, really cool. They're not cool, but they're quite nice for running in, but only because I've learned how to run. And I wouldn't advise just going from a shoe like that where you've got a lot of heel support to going to run into these, which are 3mm, or going into sandals. So why have I got these shoes? So this is your standard kind of running shoe. It's a big heel on it, probably 9mm at least there, maybe even 12mm of heel, and the idea is that that's going to give you some cushioning to reduce the impact whilst you're running. Now, there is no science to this, okay? There is no evidence on any research that says, anything in your running shoe will prevent injuries. There is nothing, okay? So it is all marketing. There's obviously two sides to the fence to this. There's the people who are selling the running shoes, and there's the people who just care about running efficiency. So that's something we're going to will be a theme throughout this. It doesn't matter if you have a comfortable pair of shoes that you like running in, don't go and swap them out just because I've said this or anyone else is saying it. I think the most important thing is you have a comfortable shoe, and to just understand that there is no real research on anything that is in there. So when you go and run on the running machines and they say you've got, you need this much support on the inside because you're pronating or supinate or whatever they say, don't worry about that too much. Know that it's more in your technique. The reason you're getting injuries is more in your technique than it is in the shoe. How do I know this? Because I've had hundreds of different shoes, millions of different insoles for my shoes. I've had custom made insoles, I've had this insole, that insole, and they work for a little while, but obviously the shoe wears down on one side, and so then you need a new shoe or you need a new insole. So it's not really a solution, it's just a plaster, it's a temporary solution. So I'm done with traditional running shoes. But I quite like these. I mean, these are just pretty neutral shoes. They're 3mm heel, so not too much, but then not 0mm, where you're really just going straight into dropping the heel down. The other thing is with that traditional running shoe, if you imagine that little wedge under your heel is lifting you up like this, so you are constantly, it's almost like having high heels on when you're running, you're constantly in this position. So if I now drop my heel down to here, I'm putting the Achilles and the calves under a lot more strain when I'm running. So to suddenly go from a big shoe down into a little shoe is not a good idea. However, if you want to gradually transition into that, that's a good idea. And certainly if you're going to enroll on this running course and you're going to follow these videos, just do it really gradually. Don't suddenly go, right, I'm going off for my regular 1 hour run using this new style, because you really will hurt your calves. Your calves will be sore and your Achilles will be sore. So that is the first part of this series. What we're going to talk about next is a little bit more about the factors involved in running, the pull, the fall, and your cadence. Those are the three kind of big things that I'll be talking about throughout. Thanks for liking the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the bell so you get to see all the other ones, and what else? Follow our channel. All right, thanks for watching. Ben from Witterings Fitness.